Y'all, today I'm having a day. I had woke up with low energy, but I wanted to talk about the topic um in today's shadow work. And I hope that you all are having fun with the shadow work. I hope that you all learn things about yourself and it's allowing you to stay grounded. Um so I'm gonna talk about that topic. I'm outside right now. It's a little windy, but the sun is out, so that makes it best. I got my new jacket. I love this jacket. I'm having some merch coming soon. I'll let y'all know about that. But I got my toast and my tea out here. And we're gonna get into this topic. I did write my information down in my phone. So if I look at my phone, it's because just so I can remember my thoughts about it. So the journal prompt was, how does the way others view you affect you? Have you adapted the assumptions they make or made about you? So, okay, so this topic I felt had so many different layers to it for me in my life that I felt that it would be interesting to make a video and to maybe like come back and look at this video and see what I've learned from the revelations from this question and things like that. So, me personally in my day-to-day life, like with everything I do, I don't think it necessarily affects me. Like I don't think I've altered myself completely to what people may think. And I'm the kind of person where like I really don't care what people think, but sometimes what people think allows them to act in a certain way. So like, let's say if someone doesn't like women, you not liking women isn't a problem. You can dislike whatever, whoever you want. You can do whatever you want to do. It's when you think that it's okay to mistreat me or try to harm me because of your biased, prejudiced opinion about the fact that you don't like women. You know what I'm saying? So that's when like I do take a step back when I'm around certain demographics and things like that, and I either won't speak up or won't say anything or just won't be around them, period. So sorry, I'm reading my thing just to make sure I went over everything. Okay, so I did make a note of that. Yeah. I'm looking, I'm thinking maybe I should just read y'all what I wrote on my paper when I was talking to myself. So this is what I said to myself. I said, I don't think that others' view of me affect me daily and continuously, but I definitely in the moment that they are voicing their opinions or making their statements about me, I'm affected, and it usually comes out in the way of being defensive, which I don't see as an issue with, but I do understand that people who aren't used to being around self-aware and strong people may think of that as me being stubborn. But in reality, you can't really tell me more about myself than I already know. I've always been the one to sit back and basically do this shadow work for myself before I even fully knew what it was. I made the conscious decision to then go to therapy, and look what happened. It was brought up again in therapy, but in a deeper way to me. So yes, I'm very defensive about myself and my character because I see me constantly doing the work towards betterment, and I don't see others doing the same, which is fine if that's your prerogative. But when you're in my face falsifying made up things in your head about who I am based on your experience with other people or your projections, that's where the issue lies. With that being said, I really do believe that no one's opinion of you is your business. I'm gonna finish reading this and I'm gonna piggyback to that. Now, if you're doing something wrong that is hurting someone's feelings, them setting boundaries and letting you know that what you're doing is hurting them is something different from them just feeling a type of way about you because you're different from them. So that's like the personal level aspect of this. So when I said that no one's opinion of you is your business, that's honestly how I feel. I feel as though if somebody just doesn't like me, that like, I don't like Free Spirit Mom, I don't like Tyler, that's their business. I don't think it's for me to know. Like, unless we're literally trying to form a friendship and they like, I don't like when you do this or do that. But if you literally don't like me and don't talk to me. I don't think I should know that you don't like me. And I don't think that people should try to pry into other people's feelings about them. If somebody's not willing to tell you, you know, how they feel about you and things like that, don't go and ask them, you don't like me? Why you don't like me? You can't make people like you. You can't do that. So let people have their opinions and their thoughts, and I think it's just that, their opinions and their thoughts, and it just should be with them. We all have our own opinions and thoughts, and it's not always our job to go tell people that we dislike them or we dislike something that they do, especially if we're not being constructive or if we're not even trying to be in their life. Because I feel like some people are just a little bit rude in that way, where they just think it's okay to go tell somebody they don't like them or show somebody they don't like them, but you don't have to see this person, you don't have to be around this person. So people's opinion of you is none of your business, you know, remember that. Now how they treat you, that's something totally different, because they need to not mistreat people. So that was like the minuscule, very personal level that I do see about myself. Like, but I don't think I have necessarily altered my whole personality characteristics because of what people may think or view me as, you know? Like, people say I'm bossy, and I don't agree. I don't care what you are doing. Being bossy means I need to be the boss of somebody, right? That's what maybe I don't know what being bossy means, but I thought that's what being bossy meant. I like things my way for me. Like, let's say if it's chilly out here, I'm gonna put on my jacket. I'm not gonna say, girl, it's chilly, you need to put on your jacket. That's you, I mind my business. I'm gonna put on my jacket. People misuse words, and I think that's another reason why I'm defensive, because people misuse words a lot. And like I said, people aren't used to people who's self-aware. I'm very self-aware. I know my pros, I know my cons about myself. So I do get defensive, because it's like, nah, baby, you can't call me that. Not Miss Ma'am, because Miss Ma'am worked on herself. Miss Ma'am ain't that. So it comes off as a little defensive. I'm just being real. But on a different level of this question, I'm gonna read what I wrote. I feel like when I write, I'm a little bit more honest. Like, because I guess I'm not hearing myself necessarily speak out loud. I'm not so focused on trying to say the right thing. I'm just writing. So this was like the next part that I said. I wrote. I wrote, so these three things aren't very personal. It's just I feel the weight of them partially on me. I wonder if other women feel like this, or even how men may feel and whatever they may deal with. Another way that people view me, or black women in general, or women in general, or single mothers in general, most definitely affect me. And I didn't really have these feelings and emotion towards the made up downfall of being a woman until I gave birth. I feel like so many people feel opinionated to open their mouth because they, one, assume I'm young and see me with a child without a ring or a man. And I'm not talking about from me posting my business, I put it in quotations, air quotes, my business on YouTube. I'm talking about straight up speaking to me in a store. Like, don't talk to me about my child. That's what I wrote. Being a black woman affects me because I do feel like we're seen as the bottom of the barrel compared to every other group. Again, I didn't feel that way before I gave birth. I didn't feel a lot of this until I gave birth. Well, I saw it. It was eye-opening. I started to see that people really don't like women. Okay? Anyways, so I said, so I find myself not being around groups of people that I would really enjoy and have more things in common with, because I understand I can't be naive and act like racism doesn't exist. I've adapted in that way. Before I read on, let me explain that a little bit. So I'm a very like simple person. I'm kind of country more than city. I listen to rock music, country music, a lot of things that my peers who look like me just don't do. And from my experience, like, I'm not saying like there's nobody out there like me who's my color, because there is. But from my experience, they're usually really young. So like the other day I was playing soccer. Me and my friend went out and we was playing soccer, where I went out to play a VR game. But there were some girls out there playing soccer. We most definitely, I could tell that we had things in common, but I could tell that it would still be it would still be something missing. I feel like I'm just a lot of a little bit of everything, and it's hard for me to find my tribe. I feel like it's very, very hard for me to find my tribe. So like the things that I do like, I feel may come off as emo-ish. So when I find people who are into that, I don't really like to label people, but I feel like they're more so emo-ish. Like they're like deep into stuff that I'm not really wanting to deep dive into, or like they like smoke heavily, you know. So it's just, I still feel out of place. And then when I worked in this certain area, there were a lot of, I don't know if the correct term is white or Caucasian. I don't know. Whichever one you want to call it. Non-person of color. We had a lot in common, but when we would get in spaces around their friends or their family, it would be weird. It would be very weird. So I feel as though I kind of shut myself off a lot to non-people of color, just because I don't ever want to be in a situation where I'm being naive. Like I said, I don't want to be naive, because growing up, I grew up on a whole different side of town with predominantly white people and was never mistreated. And then I came over to Atlanta and was mistreated by my own people, and that kind of like blinded me a little bit to not really see that, okay, you know, doesn't matter what you experience in your past, there's still evil people out there who mistreat people who look just like you. So it's weird, but I'm trying to get past that. That's something that I definitely need to deep dive in. I had told myself I wanted to, you know, start back therapy, and I think that's something I really want to get into, because I don't have a problem with any race. I think it's so funny, y'all. If y'all travel outside of America, now I haven't been just everywhere, but you will see that we make this thing bigger in America. Don't get me wrong, because things are still happening, and that's why it's so big, because we have people still out here mistreating us because of our skin tone, or mistreating men, because I don't know if y'all been watching the news, but the cops mistreat teenage boys, period. They, don't get me wrong, they might go to the judge, and the judge might, you know, side with a different race over one, but these cops are still kind of an issue. Obviously not all cops. I wanted to be a police officer, so obviously not all cops, but a lot, too many, are terrible, and they're doing it to our young boys, period. What, y'all don't want any men to be around? Like, if you go look at the arrests and how they've been arresting these teenagers, it's crazy. Anyways, I just want to try to be in spaces that I want to be in, and not think negatively, but I also still want to make sure that my mind is sharp and I'm being aware of, you know, wrongdoings. So that's that aspect. The two so far that I feel like I kind of alter myself in just a little way, with being a single mom and being a alternative black female. And then I wrote this. I said, I also sometimes want to be ratchet. Like, there's a time and a place, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like there's ever a time for me to just be ratchet and have a little fun, because I myself even turn up my nose at ratchet activities. It's kind of contradicting, I know, but that's just is what it is, and shadow work is about being honest. Yep. So, I mean, that just wraps that up. That whole thing is what it is. Sometimes I want to go to the club and shake my booty, but when I see it myself, I'd be like, that's a lot. That's a lot going on. So it's like, why am I judging something that I actually want to partake in every now and then? I want to have fun and dance every now and then. Go to the club, shake my booty. If you can't go to the club, shake your booty, where else you gonna shake your booty? But it's I do think I just stray away from that because of my own thoughts and opinions on that. So that's really kind of just me. It's not even what anybody else is doing. It's me. So the last part I wrote was this looks like it's out of order. I said it makes me not. Okay, so this goes back to me being the alternative black girl, but knowing that I can't be naive also. So I say it makes me not want to be vulnerable around other races out of fear of being prejudged or mistreated. And then being a woman in general, a lot of people see us as weak, which makes us an easy target alongside children. That has caused me to be on guard more than I would like. Yeah. And I said bad things happen daily to both sexes. Let me start there. But females are usually the more victimized ones, along with children. Sometimes I just want to walk around with no care in the world and not have to have my B face on just so people won't mess with me. Because I will say, I haven't experienced 10% of what a lot of people have experienced. Like, almost all of my friends or peers have been mistreated by men. I haven't. And I think it's because I'm on guard and defensive from the very beginning. Like, so, yeah, they respect me, but I wonder how many of them feared me. I don't want you to fear me. I just need you to know that if you ever think it's okay to put your hands on me, I'm going to go crazy. You're going to go to jail. If you ever think it's okay to curse me out, you're not going to be in my life. Like, I kind of let guys know from the beginning what I'm going to accept and what I'm not going to accept. And I don't have a problem with that necessarily, but sometimes I do wish that I could just be in a new place and feel a little at peace, you know? I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel like that. It can't just be women. I'm pretty sure men feel like that, right? Like, when I go places, I automatically look for the exits. It's just something that I do. And it's not even, it's habit because I've always done it. And like one time I was at the movie theaters and the exit sign wasn't on. I saw the exit, but it wasn't illuminated. And when I was leaving the theater, I just had to go tell the manager. Like, I had to let them know, you know, I just left this movie and the exit sign isn't illuminated in the theater. Like, that's just how my mind works. Like, I'm always on guard about safety. Or sometimes I just wish I could just be at peace, and knowing that as a woman we're victimized in a lot of different ways by people even wanting to take advantage of us or not liking us. It causes me to be a little closed off to people, to strangers. Even though I am an introvert, but I used to be a little bit more, at least, like, you know, have small talk. Now I don't even like small talk because I don't know what that small talk could turn into. We got all this stuff going on, all this trafficking, and again, I don't want to ever be naive in a situation and think just because it hasn't happened to me, it can't happen to me. I never want to think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to always say, that ain't gonna happen to me. But now I have a different mindset. Well, if somehow that does end up happening, I'm gonna do A, B, and C. Because a lot of people love to say, you don't know what you're gonna do until you're in it. Oh baby, not Miss Safety Queen, because because I've already thought about A, B, C, D, all the alternative ways to make sure that if that happens, I have a whole bunch of plans to combat it. So, but I don't know. It's a win and lose situation with that in itself. So I hope this wasn't too rambly. I hope you understood where I was coming from. If you didn't, you can break it down in your own way, your perspective, how you kind of picked up on that. But I said all of that to kind of say I am who I am, because I've never been like this. It's so funny what I'm about to say when I have this smiley face patch. I've never been like this happy-go-lucky person that just went around smiling 24/7 and stuff like that. I've never been like that. But I do feel as though I'm more in my head and more to myself than I used to be, because of a lot of knowledge that brought to me about the world, and just a lot of things I found out about how we are viewed as women and single women, us aging. They just put a lot of worth into us as women by things like that, and it's like, that shouldn't be of importance. Just because we're not married doesn't mean we're worthless. Just because we get a divorce doesn't mean we're worthless. Just because we don't have children doesn't mean we're worthless. Just because we had a 50th birthday doesn't mean we're worthless. Like, they put all these things on women, and it wasn't aware that we was deemed as worthless by so many things. And I think that does affect me. I don't think that I have like a 100% adapted to it, because if I did, that means I would go get married, I would go have more children, I would be a homemaker, you know, I would do a lot of things that I don't want to do. So that's why I feel like I don't haven't adapt to it in that way. But I definitely think that the reverse of that is me being standoffish, which is a form of adaptation in its own right, you know. Yeah, this is very interesting. Like, if you're somebody who deep dive into this topic like I did, DM me on Instagram, and I want to have a conversation about this, because I really want to get to the root of it. And I don't know if I'm missing something either. Like, I don't know if I'm missing a point of view that can kind of help me understand where I'm coming from in a lot of those aspects. But yeah, that's the video for today. Again, I hope you all are having fun with these topics, and you can leave me some topics if you've been doing your own shadow work, because somebody did DM me on Instagram, and they showed me they found some prompts on Pinterest. I love Pinterest too, y'all. They found some prompts on Pinterest, and they had been doing like their shadow work, and they have been answering 3 questions a day or whatever. And I thought that was so cool. So if y'all have any prompts, because the next month's challenge won't be the same, but I still want to continue to do like this shadow work. I want to keep continuing to deep dive. It's been very eye-opening and very interesting. I've really been enjoying it. So I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. I hope y'all smile today. It's windy, but it's still a beautiful day. Like, look at the sky and the trees. It's so pretty. But y'all have a good one. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.